Welcome into PrizePicks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. Above me, got David Friedman. You can follow him at Talk About Sports. And David W. Eversole. You can follow him at David W. Eversole. Make sure you use the code 5, F-I-V-E. We tell you that all the time because it's free money. Why wouldn't you want free money? There's no rollovers. They're literally handing you the money, okay? But you have to use the code F-I-V-E when you sign up, okay? And make the deposit up to $100. They'll match up to 100. If you only want to play 20, you can play 20, but put down the 100. They'll give you 100. You don't have to play it all at once. You can play it over time. You can play the flex play if you want to kind of take in, not put as much in, or if you want to dip all your toes in, go with power play. Of course, you can play NBA, MMA, everything else that they got going on there, NHL. But today we're going to focus on the NFL, the Dolphins and the Browns. The Dolphins now 6-3. The Browns come in with one of the better running games in the league. We're actually going to discuss that here today. We got a debate going on here. Friedman, I'm going to let you go first, okay? Nick Chubb, 84.5 rushing yards. That's the number right now for the Cleveland Browns running back against the Dolphins. You are going over. Why?
I think as we're doing this, Dave is telling us they pushed it.
Yeah, bumped to 86.
Yeah.
86.5.
Look, if nothing else, I mean, I get it. The Dolphins have been good against the run. I think more than anything, like, teams are having a hard time stopping the Dolphins' offense, and we know teams running the ball against a high-powered offense, taking possessions. I mean, just to go at it in that direction. And Chubb is like probably the best running back in the league, and they're really good at running the ball. I don't think that that's a crazy number. So to me, I'm going to go over that and kind of stay safe. I don't know what to make of the other Browns picks, honestly. I don't like this game.
No, here's the thing about it. I'm with you under normal circumstances, but when you look a little deeper at the Dolphins' numbers against the run, and our Hassan Patel put up the numbers for Chubb and for the Browns' running game, which are excellent. The Dolphins have only allowed 55 yards per game to running backs. Their rushing numbers are a little skewed because of Lamar Jackson and because of Fields. That basically pushed the numbers way up. I'm not excusing that. They count in the numbers, but this is a team we know Jacoby Brissett is not going to get off on them on the ground. And I think Miami goes up in this game, which forces Brissett to try to throw the ball a little bit more against them. So I'm going to go under. I don't think it's going to be a lot under, but as this number pushes up 2 yards, it gives me a little bit more cushion. I'm going to go under the 86.5. Again, simply because that's 30 yards more than the Dolphins typically allow to back. So it gives me a little bit of room there. I'll allow you to counter once, Freeman, and then we'll go to Eversole's pick.
I'm trying to think back to like all the running backs that they played against and the offenses that they played against. I think the way we've agreed that the Dolphins secondary has been like trash kind of and injured. Mm-hmm. That's the way to attack them. I just think that this team is built to run the ball, and they're going to do that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Eversole, what do you got?
Well, on this note, with Nick Chubb, I agree with you, Ethan. I think Miami and Boy are going to put like 8 to 15 guys in the box and basically just dare Brissett to beat him. So I kind of like the under on that one. But on the Dolphins side, I'll start with the Dolphins. I think this is going to be a pretty good game. Despite Cleveland's defensive struggles, they've actually been decent in terms of limiting completions. Mm-hmm. They've allowed the fewest completions overall in the NFL at just 150, but they don't pick the ball off either. They only have 3 interceptions the whole season. So I think Miami's going to be able to work the short intermediary passing game with Waddle and Gesicki. I like Waddle over 5.5 receptions in this game, and I also like him over on some other categories as well. But I'm going to take him with the receptions.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that, and then Freeman will finish up on this. I'm going to go over with him on yards. As people know, I've pretty much been playing Hill and Waddle on yards the whole season, but Hill has gone from being in the low 60s to the 70s to the 80s, and now he's in the 90s. And as extraordinary as he has been, you're basically betting on him to have a 100-yard game when you obviously have a weapon on the other side like Waddle. So I'm going to take the cushion, the 20-something yard cushion on Waddle. When Tua plays, he goes over. It's just really that simple. Like when he hasn't played, he's gone under. So I'm going to play Waddle over on the yards. I could go with receptions, yards, touchdowns, anything here with him over, but I'm going to play Waddle over today. I don't think Cleveland, that's the other thing. It's just these other teams, they don't have second corners at this stage of the season, second corners of the quality to stay with Jalen Waddle. So I'm going to play him a little bit as more of the focus goes on Hill. Freeman, what do you like on the Dolphins side?
Just with the Waddle and the Hill thing, like I've been consistently the Hill, I'll go receptions. Waddle, I like the yardage, but even the Tyreek thing, it's a lot of Cooper Kupp last year. Like his numbers were crazy projection wise, Cooper Kupp, but like he was hitting that every single week, and like I can't see Tyreek at this point not getting 12 targets. Like that's just gonna happen, and they're not down the field. So going on that sort of, I'm going Tua over on the passing yards. It's 265.5. At this point, like he's gonna have to prove it to me that they can't just score on anybody. They can't,
right.
Like every week I'm like, this team will fit. No.
It's such a weird place to be with them, right? Isn't it? Like I don't know.
It's confusing as a fan. It's I don't know what I'm watching anymore because it's the Dolphins and it's weird. But like I've seen enough to think that Mike McDaniel's figured out how to use these guys and get up and down the field. It's been the defense that's been the problem at this point, right?
Well, and the defense being the problem has actually played into Tua's numbers being bigger. So that's kind of gone hand in hand. My only concern with playing Tua in all of these situations, not to bring up something that concerns Dolphin fans, but it concerns me, is whether he finishes a game. That's all. It's just I just in the back of my mind, and I'm not even talking about concussions. I'm just talking about, is this the game? The things are going so well that he gets dinged up and has to come out. And then you've got Teddy Bridgewater thrown to these guys, and that concerns me somewhat. But I'm also not at the point where I'm going to take the running back. I mean, I think we saw last week, I went with Raheem over on receiving yards, and Jeff Wilson, who was not a receiver with San Francisco, ends up picking up the receiving yards and picks up a receiving touchdown. We'll do more NFL before the weekend, but David Eversole, is there anything else you like here on the Dolphins-Browns board?
Yeah, no Dolphins running backs on the board as of yet, so I think we'll see those numbers closer to the game. But on the Browns side, I think they're going to be behind in the second half. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones over just 3.5 receptions. I think Xavier Howard is going to lock down Amari Cooper, and he'll be the primary focus of the secondary, which may leave guys like Peoples-Jones a little bit more room to run around that Miami secondary. So I'm going to take Peoples-Jones over 3.5. You can see he's hit that in 5 straight.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, that you see all the green there. That, for people who don't know that, you can go there, look at the last 5, and that'll give you an indication. All right, we'll do an NFL episode before Sunday's game just to give you that. But this is gonna stick up here for a little while. So check it out. Use that code 5 FIVE at PrizePicks and play today. Okay, play the NBA as well. We got a Heat game coming up Saturday night. So actually, maybe we'll do a combination episode. Give you some Heat props for Saturday, and then a couple of NFL props as well. For David and David, have a good day.